That's a motor, that's a transmission, that's a clean slate.
Say whatever comes to mind.
Whatever comes to mind. On this episode of Pipey Bill, I let my dad do all the heavy lifting.
Of course, I'm on the wrong side. That's okay. Let's see here. Cool. Well, that's gonna suck. Take that out. Take this cross member out. Oh! Not good. What a mess. That's what you get for not paying attention. Alright, so the exhaust is directly underneath the transmission pan. The rear bolts of the transmission pan are pinched up above the transmission cross member. Everything's in the way. So I'm going to let that finish draining. I'm going to get the oil filter off. We're going to disconnect this exhaust, get this exhaust completely out of the way. It looks like a hanger on each side and the back, and then these collector bolts shouldn't be too bad. Get this out of the way, and then we'll move on to getting this transmission drained. Lovely. Man, that is taking a long time to drain. Well, I'm impatient, so I'm just going to put that back in because there's not much more. Yes, sir. Alrighty. Let's see how this goes. She's free. I'm exhausted. All right. So I have to get this jack in here and get this raised up, but first I need to take these transmission cross member bolts out. Oh wow, those are tight. Oh yeah. That was fast. Alrighty. Alright, transmission's up. Let's see here. What do we got? I was hoping that would be the case. So the problem I'm running into is I got the cross member all undone. I got the jack underneath the tail shaft of the transmission, and I'm stuck. The cross member only wants to go forward, but it can't go forward because I can't get the transmission up high enough for it to slide underneath the pan. I can't move it backwards because the jack's in the way. So what I have to do is I'm going to take the drive shaft out just to get one more thing out of the way, which is basically just these 4 bolts. We got these U-bolt straps down here. So I'll take that, I'll remove the drive shaft, that'll be out of the way. I'll block up the transmission, move the jack forward, get a block of wood, jack it up underneath the pan, and then I'll be able to work the cross member out towards the rear. 1/2-inch wrench, 4 bolts. Let's get after it. And them things are dry as a bone, and I don't think there's a needle bearing in there. See, that one's got needle bearings in it. Ta-da! That could have went smoother, but it's done. All right, GMs are a pain in the rear because they don't have a drain plug. You can buy aftermarket ones with a drain plug, but these don't have it. So I'm gonna get this situated right there the best I can. And this is gonna be messy, but basically we are going to take these front bolts off, and we're gonna work down the side. And as we do this, this pan will tilt. Feel it. Yep, there it goes. Like I said, it's gonna make a mess. Oh, here we are. That drain like that for a little bit. A little bit more. Yep, and then you can hold that and then carefully we'll just let that grip. Let this pan get dry. I got a bolt here. I got another bolt. Zip this back together because I don't want to bang any of that stuff when we're pulling this out. Dropped a bolt somewhere. Oh, that's fine. This is definitely a dirty job. Trans fluid is pretty disgusting. Got it. Transmission is all unhooked, drained, drive shaft is out, exhaust is off, transmission cooler lines unhooked, shifter linkage unhooked. Everything is out of the way for the transmission. So I have to undo some of this wiring, just basically make sure that this motor is completely disconnected from the rest of the truck, with the exception of the motor mounts, which will be the last thing I do. So headers are coming out, fuel pumps coming off, just so I have better access. I'll take the upper and lower rad hoses off, and just so I can get a good positive connection to the motor with the engine hoist, I'll probably pull the distributor, and I will take the entire carbon intake off as one, so that way I can put it back on. Once I have the motor on the engine stand, I can put the intake and the carburetor back on, put the air cleaner back on it, and it's covered up, nothing's getting in there, and then I'll plug the exhaust ports with like a paper towel or something so something doesn't get in there. Sounds fun. Let's do it. Cool. It's an aftermarket distributor. A Street Fire. I'll have to do some looking into that. Okie dokie. We get a pry bar. Now, kick down cable. That's probably to the vacuum modulator. That didn't belong in there. Get out of. All the push rods are good and snug. I don't see anything bent. It's an Edelbrock intake. Cool. And they went happy on the silicone. All right. Engine's ready to pull. I got everything disconnected. Intake's off, carburetor's off, fuel lines, transcooler lines, everything. All we got to do is hook up the cherry picker and yank it out of here. We'll see how it goes. .350 combo, small block Chevy 350, turbo hydromatic 350. She is dirty. I don't know what to say. I don't think there's anything to say. It's kind of pretty hanging up here in the air. Whoa! Cool. Separated. Transmission's right over there. Couple notable things: the motor mount on the passenger side had no bolt in it, so it was just sitting there, not good. The torque converters to flex plate bolts, those were kind of loose. What else? I don't know. So it's out. I'm going to shove this out of the way, move on to the next thing after I put the intake back on it, just to cover that up. Cool. Distributor. There it is. Ooh, it's pointed right at number 1. I don't think that means anything because I'm not sure that that's at top dead center, but kind of satisfying. Okay, motor's out. We pressure washed it. I got a lot more work to do. It was just kind of a knee jerk. Let's get in here and brush some of this gunk off and see what it looks like. Plans moving forward, we are going to keep taking the front end up. I'm not taking the motor cross member off, but we do have all new bushings. So we are going to take the upper and lower control arms off. We're going to paint everything. We're going to obviously do front disc brakes, new master cylinder. So we got a lot more tear down, clean up to do. But yeah, continue to tear down, get everything painted up, get it to where it looks good. This front cross member right here, it's all out of whack. So got to address that. I'll probably take the front bumper off just so I can get some a good angle on it with the sledgehammer. Yeah, and then I got parts showing up next week and we're gonna start putting this thing back together. And I got this bee landing on me. I hate these things. Anyways, yep, until next time, see ya.